Good morning. Welcome to the Better Human Dads Dadcast. I'm Paul.
Good morning. I'm Steve, and welcome to another episode of Better Human Dads. Before we get started, I want to talk about something we're getting questions quite a lot about. What does better actually mean? And so for us, better is it's an acronym. It's be aware of your actions and language. Engage with your kids at their level. Get on the floor, play with them. Tell them you love them always, often. Take ownership of your actions. Elevate others to be better human dads by inspiring actions. And finally, role model the behavior you want because you know your kids are watching every one of your moves. So just make sure that as you're playing, as you're interacting with your kids, understand they're watching everything you do. Today we have special guest, Mike Dargie. Mike and I have known each other for 30 years. It's hard to imagine that. It's my God, time flies.
Ancient.
30 years. Yeah,
Like
and
30.
yeah, well, thank you very much. It's this special screen I have here.
That's right.
I'll take that for sure.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, Mike has a great background. So, hey, Mike, why don't you share something about yourself and about your family and so on?
Oh my, sure. Well, okay, I'm a dad of two boys who have long since left the nest and have traveled the world and are making their way in the world. And I couldn't be a more proud dad. Um, as just the other day, and I live in Calgary, so it's snowy, but we get Chinooks every now and then, and the roads get dry, and I get a phone call from my youngest, and he's like, "Hey, Dad, want to ride bikes?" And I'm like, "Yes." So he shows up on his motorcycle, and now I got to throw on the helmet, and we go out for a little spin, and that's our relationship in a nutshell. Both boys ride motorcycles. I ride motorcycles. They've traveled the world. They've come back home. They're both in Calgary right now, and
Mhm.
yeah, we hang out and it's fun. And
That's cool.
we all say "I love you" after every conversation. Like we don't ever hang
Wow,
up the
wow.
phone without that.
Yeah.
And that was never on purpose or by design. That's just how we roll.
Mm.
So it's
No,
cool to
it's a
hear you say that.
yeah. Well, it's a great example of being a role model. So obviously they saw you riding and thought, I have to do the same thing as my dad, right? I mean, that's what I'm picking up from here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. I guess my eldest son is more sport bikey guy, but
Mhm.
he has a
Okay.
sort of a sporty GS right now, and my
Mhm.
youngest has a adventure GS fully kitted out. He's like, throw a rifle on his back and head out into the
Go
boonies and
hunt a moose.
bring a moose back on his GS.
Oh, it's so good. That's so
Uh,
good.
but yeah, we have a lot of fun. We do a lot of trips out to the island. Actually, we got
Mm-hmm.
family out there, so yeah, it's
Yeah,
fun.
very cool.
It's very cool you're doing it, having that activity and spending time together, which is what we're hearing, by the way, consistently with dads. Is
Yeah.
you got to spend time and do things with your kids, regardless of the age.
Yeah, oh
Mm,
yeah,
Yeah.
heck yeah.
That, yeah, the whole
mm.
intentionality piece is a recurring theme for sure. So it sounds like you got that wrapped up, Mike.
Yeah, thanks.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's been so far so good. We're having a blast.
Yeah.
Well,
Fun.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, the concept of, better human dads, it really is for us. It's we want to tell dad stories. We want to talk to dads and hear what they're doing and just share some inspiring stories about what dads are doing. And I guess the first question I'd have for you is when you think about being a better human dad, what does that actually mean to you?
Well, showing up, I think, I think it's always been showing up where I am as well as where they are. So I don't think I ever put on the dad hat in a way that, certainly I was when I disciplinarian when I had to be,
Hmm. Hmm.
firm role model when I had to be, but also, you know, around to listen and, you know, pick them up from situations. We had a code where they could just call and I would just show up, no questions asked, and
Nice.
get them out of a situation that they're in, and we just leave that. And if they want to talk about it later, great. If they don't, that's also fine. So I think
Mhm.
it's sort of giving space,
Mm.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
and also getting into trouble with each other. Like we That's also been part of my dad journey is jumping off train bridges into the river with the kids when they
Yeah.
might have been a little too small, but we did it anyways. It was fun, and they know how to navigate a river. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I
They're
love
gonna
that.
learn
Like
whether
that.
you like it or not.
Yeah.
oh, they
They
loved
don't.
it. Their mother did not love that as much.
Yeah. 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 Well,
Right.
that's
It's
cool, right? Yeah.
yeah. It's cool you're saying that too about this whole concept of adventure, right? So obviously, you love it, but you bring your kids into the same adventure area that you're in,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Do
and
lots
now they're
of
bringing me into their
yeah.
adventures.
Yeah. Yeah. Dad,
Which
let's
is
go. Let's go ride
fantastic.
bikes. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Mike, let's ask this question. You think of the history of you and your boys. What's been your greatest learning lesson as a father? Especially one that may have changed the way you showed up as a dad.
It's such a great question, and I think probably forgiveness would be one.
Mhm.
Um, we have very open conversations, always have in our household, and sometimes they don't show up the best, and sometimes I don't show up the best, and I think that ability to forgive each other has been, kind of a big thing.
Mhm. Yeah. Wonderful.
I don't want to get into too many specifics.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever you feel comfortable with.
No.
And
Yeah.
it makes me the question, I guess, as a follow up, like, how would you describe the relationship you had with your dad?
Really good, but different. Um, different era, different,
Mm.
different time. And I still have a great relationship with my dad. I mean, he's going to be running with us in the Oak Bay Half Marathon
Wow.
as well. He was more disciplinarian. It was more of sort of the nuclear family.
Hmm.
The mom was at home for most, and the dad was off doing work and dinner at 6, and wait till your dad gets home, kind of thing.
You're in trouble.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, there's guardrails, and the one thing about, I guess, my dad is that he always was taking us on adventures. Like, my sister and I, he got us involved, like took us to theater when we were young, moved from Toronto to Calgary. He brought us probably at too young of an age to Loose Moose Theater, which made an impact on me when I was quite a young guy. Our family Easter egg hunts were epic. They were full day adventure excursions where he was up in the middle of the night planting clues and eggs throughout the Bow River Valley.
That's awesome.
We had to kayak, canoe, hike, run,
No
swim.
way.
Oh yeah, and like full day adventures. So,
Wow.
we were going to do a kayak trip out on the coast, like from in Powell River, and so he took the family to learn how to kayak properly on Glenmore Reservoir. Got us lessons with a pro and learned all this stuff so that we could kayak safely together and have this adventure as a family. So that's been consistent throughout my entire life, is him just showing up and doing stuff.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah, it sounds like your dad was very intentional too, right? I mean,
Very,
he
yeah.
a lot, yeah. So would you say that that's a trait that you picked up from your dad, being intentional with your kids?
Well, I mean, I think he intentionally, like, it's almost like he had a spreadsheet. In some cases he did. Like, I tell this story every once in a while that, we were a running family, and my sister and I wanted to go to Disneyland. And he's basically said that we had to run the equivalent distance of from where we lived to Disneyland, track our mileage.
Oh,
And
that's
then we would get
fantastic.
to go. Yeah. Now, I'm not entirely sure how that all happened, but I do remember a little spreadsheet hanging on the wall that we had to fill out our daily mileage that
great.
we would run.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
he was intentional
awesome.
that way. I was intentional in spirit, I guess, in the sense that I didn't have a plan, and I don't have a plan. I just,
Yeah.
I show up and just get into trouble with them. That's,
Hmm. Well, maybe that's the plan. The
yeah, maybe
intentionality
that's,
is,
Yeah.
yeah, you're intentionally spontaneous, which is, I think pretty cool, actually.
yeah, thanks.
Um,
Yeah.
Now, do you find now that do you see those traits in your kids too? Now, are they like, obviously they have the adventure component, What do you see when you're looking at? You seeing like something about yourself when you're looking at them?
Um, I mean, I hope so, but I
Hmm.
don't know. That feels it feels not me to try to see myself in them. I see
Okay.
them as they are.
Okay.
Um,
Nice.
and are there shades of me? Sure. But there's shades of their mother as well. There's shades of their friends. There's shades of their grandparents.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's,
Mm.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm not looking at a spitting image of myself and would hope never to see
No, no, no.
that.
Yeah.
Well, I love the running story, but I mean, obviously that's continued on. The fact that you're doing a half marathon with
Yeah.
the family, that says a lot, really, right? There are some lessons learned from the past,
Yeah.
I
Well,
think.
we do our best. We're not great at it, but we show up.
Well, just that whole the family running together has got such a great image, and kind of reminds me of a friend of mine, Missy. Hey, Steve, that's her whole family.
Mhm. Yeah, well, I think just showing up, that's what it's all about, right? I mean, that's what we're hearing, talking to different dads around the world, by the way, which is
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
yeah,
We're getting the same messages over and over again. It's intentionality. It's just showing up and being there
yeah.
and spending time, and
It kind of sounds
uh,
like it kind of sounds like it's the norm in your family too, right, Mike? Is that your dad created this environment and you kind of just absorb his style, I guess, or his lifestyle, of him intentionally showing up and
In a way, I think that always in the back of my head, there's a what would my dad do, like
mm,
no,
because I
nice.
mean the other thing to say is that um like I know this is the dad show, but my mom on the other side of that spectrum, she was also the foil and helped with that. Like I'm thinking about
Hmm.
um, the influence she had on me to be a better dad. Also, was her reading me stories, and
yeah,
with my kids,
Wow.
it wasn't my wife reading the stories. It was me in like at bedtime reading the stories, doing all the voices,
yeah,
painting this world. So I think that that's an important thing to note as
mm,
well, that we don't, it's not just, and I love my dad and he is a huge influence on me, and certainly today and forever, and also a huge influence on my kids, but it's also like the entire family unit that has
mm,
shaped this thing.
yeah. Well, we've heard that before too. Is like you can't have a great dad without a great wife, and it's kind of like they create that team, and it's the team, and we don't want to take anything away from the moms, that's for sure, because you know what, the moms are really incredibly special, and it's nice to hear that relationship in the with your dad and your mom too, right? Because
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a big part of it, isn't it?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I well, I just heard the other day I was talking to somebody, and she was saying that understanding what it means to be a better dad makes her a better mom, which I thought was
uh
kind of fascinating. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I
and
think
and and
dad life is a different animal than mom life for sure.
yeah, it is. It absolutely is. Yeah, it's and that's what we're hoping to explore and expose and really talk about
Yeah.
what does it mean, because unfortunately there's not a lot of sometimes dads aren't necessarily portrayed positively in the media, and we're hoping to maybe change that a little bit.
Yeah,
Good. Well, you're
Mm.
doing a heck of a job. I love your show.
yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
And
Thanks.
don't forget to buy their book.
Well, June 21st. It's not ready yet, but
Coming out on Father's
we,
Day.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is
We're
evergreen content. People will be listening to go look for the book.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Um, yeah, and so just a further question again, looking back,
Yeah.
uh, are there some things that you would have maybe done differently as a dad?
uh, so that's a yeah. Yes, of course. Yeah, I don't think you're a dad without going, I could have handled this better. I could have
Mhm.
handled that better. There's times when I wish that I was stronger. Um, there's times that I wish that I was softer. Like,
Mhm. Mhm.
without putting too fine a point on it, I think that's part of being a better dad is trying to be better every single time you show
Yeah.
up. Take those lessons that you learned, um, push them forward into what happens next. Realize when you've made a mistake, own it. Um, also realize when they made a mistake and help them own it as well. I think that's an
Yeah,
important
that's
part
a
of
good point.
being a dad.
Mm.
We live in a weird world, but yes, there's lots. I wish they'd done more stuff with them. I mean, we've done
Oh
some
yeah.
crazy stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's not over yet, so I continue to see us doing more stuff in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's really answering your question. I feel like I'm couching it
Oh
a little
no,
bit, but out of
no, no,
respect for
no.
them.
Well, it makes me wonder about, we all have bucket lists, I guess. Do you have family bucket lists that maybe you'll do with your kids, or one day I'm going to do this, or uh,
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, I think my biggest bucket list is property on Vancouver Island where we can have like a Dargie family compound. That's the
nice, nice.
a house, and everybody's got a house on the property, and we've got a communal
Ah,
kitchen outside that we can come and barbecue and hang out with.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, I mean, I'd love to travel with them more.
mhm.
Um,
Like do the motorbike trips kind of thing, or a
yeah,
different kind of trip?
motorcycle trips, but maybe different ones, like maybe South Africa.
Wow,
With Charlie Borman would be dope.
Yeah.
Um,
wow. No kidding, no
or
kidding.
yeah,
That's a long
or
way
do
around.
totally, or do the United Kingdom would be fun.
Hmm.
I had a friend that did I want to say from Ireland to St. Petersburg, Russia, and
Wow,
I wouldn't
wow.
do Russia these days, but
No.
I mean, I think that getting out and seeing the world is a really important part of the human experience.
Hmm.
And the more you can do it in the world, the better. Like no all you can eat buffets, no really posh hotels. Just live like a local as much as you can.
Yeah. That spirit of
Well,
adventure, especially on a motorbike, you just see the world from a different lens, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. You can smell it, you hear it. I mean, it's so different, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes you don't want to smell it.
Yeah.
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 Should
And
do,
that's all
should do.
part of the adventure, of just
Yeah, yeah.
embracing everything, right? So,
Yeah.
Mike, what keeps you wanting to show up as a better dad? Like, what's the motivation there for you? Have you ever
Mm.
thought of that?
I don't know that I've ever really thought about it, other than we're in this ride together, and I just want to show up the best way I can.
Mm.
I'm not a granddad yet. I'm a granddad to grand dog and grandcat, um, which is a nice easy first step.
Yeah.
Let's just start. It starts. I'll start.
Yeah.
Baby
Yeah,
steps.
Soft opening.
yeah.
Yeah. But I think that I'm seeing how my dad continues to show up for me now as
Mm.
he's later on in life, and I want to make sure that I'm showing up for my kids for as long as humanly possible. So that's what I think motivates me and keeps me going and wanting to be better. Um, every day, every week, every month. See if I can
Mm.
inspire us to get together and do weird stuff.
Mm.
Yeah. Mm.
Well, it's interesting. You have a partner in crime, by the way, because Paul wants to build a compound as well. And is this like a new thing? I know. It's like, is this a thing now? I've missed
Yeah.
out on the compound thing. Yeah, it's a cool idea.
There's property up just north of Comox, and like it's a huge chunks of property, a little far north on the island for me, but like I don't know, they're 5-acre parcels. And they're serviced.
Wow.
Like, and I'm
Oh,
just like,
wow, wow.
like you can easily build a garage with a studio on top as a first step. Live in there as you build the house. Live in the
Hmm.
house as you
Hmm.
build the other house. Like I've got this all figured out.
Yeah.
No,
Would
I'm with you
would
there.
your parents would your parents come up there? Is that the goal, or is it just for you and your kids? Your
No, I
boy?
mean that's a great question. I don't know that they'd be into that. They are self-sustained. They love their little place in Sydney. They are
Hmm.
talking about possibly moving to a different location.
Yeah.
But I mean that would be amazing. I'd love to have them there.
Well, that's the thing is it could be the same thing with our parents are getting older. My wife's parents are older, and it'd be kind of nice to have them so we could take care of them. And then when we go away, they kind of take care of the house kind of thing, sort of. But that
Hmm.
whole idea of bringing family together, there's that longevity part, and it'd be nice, like you say, you sit back and you can see the vision of the communal barbecue and the family getting together. How
Yeah,
you doing? Like it's a wonderful, wonderful vision.
yeah,
It absolutely
yeah.
is. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
It's sitting there, just right there.
It's dangling.
Well,
Yeah.
you have to just pull the trigger, I guess, you know, and get out
Yeah,
there.
well,
Beautiful place.
out there looking at property all the time. So
Hmm.
yeah,
And you know what? Yeah, I'd love to hear a little bit about what you're doing now. You've got, of course, a new book, a book, I
yeah.
should say,
Thank you.
that you're launching. Maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. Thank you for the plug. So it came out last April. It's published by Dundurn Press here in Canada, which was really nice. And it's
Hmm.
called Brand Jitsu, Move Your Brand from Meh to Memorable. And it is a distillation of all the work that I do with clients to help them figure out their brands and how they can show up
Fantastic.
authentically, like for real, not just, not just words on a page, but actually feel it viscerally. And it's done really well by all accounts. I won't find out until the end of this month from my publisher how it's done. Like I get a yearly report. But there is another book in the making called Pitch Jitsu, which is
It's good.
yeah,
Uh,
Pitch Jitsu, yeah, which is basically opening minds and wallets is the working subtitle right now.
I love that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I've sort of landed in this space where I have been doing this work for so long that I just want to share it, and I'd love to do it for as long as I can, but I also just like sharing it with people, and I like teaching people how to do it as opposed to go back to our teaching days, Steve. Like I miss those days where it's that transfer of knowledge all the time instead of just always doing it. So I think that's my way.
Yeah, well, you know what comes across is your passion for this, and it's passion for your work, but passion for your family, passion for your kids, and passion just for life, really. So, I mean, it's very evident talking to you, and it's really great to see. And we've heard quite often now that people have a sense of purpose as it relates to living, like, a very good life, and it comes across. So,
Thank you.
keep doing what you're doing because it's definitely
Yeah.
there.
Carpe all the diems, all of them.
That's right. And so,
That's fantastic.
Mike, where else can people find you? You have your own podcast. Tell us about that.
Yeah. The list will be long. Hopefully, you got show notes.
We got lots. We do.
Rebel podcast. Rebel is all one word. That's a business podcast for creative rebels and entrepreneurs all over the world. We're just finishing up season 9, 200 almost 50 episodes so far.
Congratulations.
Season 10 is already recorded. So that's coming. MichaelDargie.com is where you can find more about the stuff that I do, from writing books to directing films to teaching, coaching, speaking, writing, blah, all that stuff. Make More Creative is my business. That's what I do, is I help people find, shape, and share their stories all over the world.
That's
You're a
fantastic.
busy guy. Sounds like you got lots of spare time in your world.
Yeah, Rolling Stone gathers no moss, they say.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Metaphor.
Just, really want to thank you for spending the time with us today. It's been fantastic. And just sharing your stories and some very powerful messages that I believe a lot of dads would really appreciate to hear. And very, very, very inspiring. And I mean, that's the goal. The goal here, we're at this will be 24 videos. So we got we're almost at the quarter century. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. And just once again to share, like, why do we do this? And really, it's around we're really just dads talking to dads and sharing their stories. So that's our goal. And really appreciate you spending time with us today.
Thanks, Steve, Paul. Love this show, and people give it a like, share, and subscribe, all that stuff that people do, because dads are important. Thanks for shining a light.
Absolutely. Well,
thanks, Mike. We appreciate your time, my friend, and we'll see you when you're here on the island.
Thank you.
Good luck on your race. Okay. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay.